This is protection for your privacy as well as keeping the noise level down for the meeting so we can all hear what's being said. You can use the raise your hand feature. Feel free to leave the Zoom meeting anytime, and we are recording. If you check your microphone icon and just click on it to mute if you don't already see a red slash through it. During the business portion of the meeting, you can unmute to comment and then remute yourself. During the presentations today, use the chat feature to send any other questions. Otherwise, please remain muted during today's presentations. And now the minutes. Since the Zoom format doesn't lend itself to having you read a multiple page report during the meeting, we sent out a link in advance to the November general meeting minutes in the December newsletter email sent out on November 27th. So you should have had time to read it. Are there any corrections or additions? Okay, then the minutes are accepted as presented. Treasurer's report. Just a quick mention that year to date, we are just a little bit in the black. We are managing to just skirt the line of being breaking even. So in this year where things are so difficult and complicated, I see that as quite an achievement. And it's been made possible from the support of our members through donations, dues, raffle ticket purchases. And I want to thank everybody who has supported us for their support. And
Michelle, could we just formally accept the minutes of the treasurer's report?
Sorry, I forgot. Yes, the treasurer's report is accepted as presented unless somebody has an objection.
I second it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Membership. If you're wondering if you have paid your dues or not, just contact me and I can look it up very quickly for you. And we have, so far this fiscal year, 5 new members. The contact information for the 2 newest members, Carolyn Peluso and Judy Naylor, was in the December newsletter email sent on November 27th. And we want you to note the new people write them into your yearbooks so that you have the information. So, and I know that you will all make Amy and Joanne, Carolyn and Judy all feel welcome. Once again, if you know of a member who could use a little cheering up with a card from the Guild, let Doreen Waller and I both know, and you can find our contact information in the yearbook. And of course, this lovely picture of the wool hooked rug is the cover of your yearbook. So it'll help you find it if you're looking for it. I have one sad, frightening announcement, and it is that Catherine Flowers is in the hospital and she's tested positive for COVID. So at some point, you might want to send her a card. I think we'll send out an email when we know where she is, whether she's at the hospital or she's back at home. And if you would like to, send her a card, that would be pretty nice.
Which hospital is it?
I don't have the details at my fingertips right now. So that's why I said we'll send out an email with some more information when we have it. And the last thing on our membership slide is that we have our holiday shopping guide, and it's available on our web. You can find it most easily on our website under the newsletter tab, and it's the first item listed. And it will show you, this is just the first page of it, but it will show you all the other pages and give you the contact information if you wanted to buy something from one of our members.
No. You go sit down.
Somebody's not muted. Somebody with a pet is not muted. Next slide, please. All right, sneak peek at our January raffle basket. The theme is a wool applique theme, and it's a box filled with wool fabric, 3 wool applique kits, 1 wool applique pattern, 2 wool applique books, and a wool covered wooden spool to hold your embroidery scissors. The spool has a little sailboat on the water with fish, seagulls, and a message in a bottle embroidered on the wool. We also have a February basket coming up, which will be a hearts and chocolates theme. It will include chocolates, a bottle of chocolate wine, a quilted runner with a heart pattern, and another wool-covered wooden spool to hold your embroidery scissors. This one has beaded hearts stitched onto the wool. So we look forward to some exciting raffles. And as always, you can purchase raffle tickets by sending a check or by PayPal, and the raffle tickets are $2 each. And if you are, because we're selling December baskets at the same time as November baskets, or January baskets at the same time as the February basket, make sure you tell us which basket you want your tickets to go towards. Now, we are ready for our first speaker. Sandra Golbert, oh, it's spelled wrong, will do gift tags. A little talk on how to make some pretty gift tags. And Roseanne Hunter is going to show us holiday fabric garlands. So we're ready for Sandra. Hopefully Kristen is right on top of things. Great. Here you go. Over to you, Sandra. Don't stand up or anything.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gift Tag Central.
I'm not getting, I don't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry, this is Wendy, but I'm not getting the view of the presentation. I only have Michelle's view on here. I didn't get any of the slides. Could somebody lead me in the right direction?
I can't see anything either.
Oh, okay, because I have Michelle on the screen right now with
That's
Sandra
right,
down
yeah.
in the right-hand corner. I don't have I never got the presentation screens.
You need to fix something yourself because everybody else is getting it.
Look where it says switch screen on one of, it's either on the top, on mine iPad, it's on the top, on the computer, it might be on the bottom.
Just did it. Thank you, and I'm so sorry for interrupting.
You got it?
I got it, thank you.
Okay. Next screen. Next slide. Anyway, it's a welcome.
Okay.
And I have a partial, I'm seeing half of the next slide. Is that everybody's view?
Yep.
Okay. Can we straighten that out? Because it's going to be confusing when I'm
She's working on it.
Thank you. Anyway, welcome. Okay, here we are. Your materials list. You need either colored paper or cardstock, markers of those colors that are on there, a pencil and eraser, paper scissors, not fabric scissors, then little scissors that are straight and not manicure scissors. Adhesive dots are these. They come in round and they come in square, and it's a little thingy that you pull out, and it has adhesive on top and on the bottom. In lieu of, you can use cardboard with glue or double-sided tape. Then you need a paper punch or an awl. As you can see, I have both. I probably have 27 of them. And then you need cord or thread or ribbon or metallic thread, whichever. Okay, next. So these are the patterns that you will get. The instructions are on the patterns, and you can ask for them or you can ignore it. Next. So this is the way that I paint my things. The trees have 3 or 4 colors of green. My snowman has, believe it or not, an orange nose for a carrot. You can do anything but the carrot has to be orange. You can do a purple scarf if you would like. And the snowflakes. The snowflakes are hard to cut. So if you have a snowflake punch, you could cheat. Okay, next. All right, the first step is to place the largest item on the cards with a tiny drop of glue, tiny drops of glue. And make sure that the blank side of the snowflake is up, because if not, you'll have black sides to it, which is not very pretty. And you'll notice that there's no hole in the folded cards because the hole is on the inside. If you put the hole on both sides, you can't see inside practically. Next. Then the next thing you do is you put your foam dot in the center of the tree and the snowman's top button. Next. And you put the second part of the tree, which I call the middle of the tree, on the tree and on the snowman. And then you put another foam dot on the top of the tree and on the hat of the snowman. I hope I'm not going too fast, but there will be questions at the end, I know. Next, for the snowflake, after you've put the snowflake on the card, then you take the second snowflake and you fold up the four branches, if you will, and it'll leave you with a flat center. And that is what you put on your bottom snowflake, so that you'll have 4 branches standing up. Okay. So the cards are done, and all you need is cord. Next. And you can use anything. I have butcher cord on the snowman. I have metallic thread on the snowflake, and see, some of my black is showing on the snowflake. That's a big boo-boo. Of course, if you cut out the snowflake without the black markings, you're ahead of the game. But that is the most difficult thing to cut. All the others are easy. And then you use whatever's handy. I had some metallic gold cord on the tree, which you can see. And make sure that the folded cards only have the hole on the inside. And now you can go shopping. Next. Now, here's some more of my patterns. And you can use them as ornaments for your tree or things for gift wrapping. Next. 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 Okay. So these are half, no, back, please. Back, 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 back. Okay. You will get a pattern for the butterfly, the tree, the ornament, and the dove. They're very easy. Now on the butterfly, I've used several punches, but mostly it's markers. On the tree, it's all markers. On the ornament, it's all markers. And on the bird is nothing but his eye. And that seems to me, and the little dots that you see on the bird is because I used cardstock that has flecks on it. I just happen to have tons of those, so I did that. Next. Those are the patterns that you will get if you like. There's an extra ornament. And you can also use them without the three-dimensional thing. You can just cut one and put it as a tag on your gifts. Next. This is a little gift box. And if you have the patience to color it, the best thing to use is either colored crayons, colored pencils, watercolor with a very thin brush, or markers with a very light tip. And by the way, I forgot to say when you saw the ornaments, I will be showing them to you in person at the end of this. Okay, next. So thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and a happier 2021 than 2020. Thank you. Now question time, and I will be showing you things live, so to speak. So this is my butterfly. I did not color it on the other side because I use them for my packages. This is the dove.
Excuse me, Sandra, if people go to speaker view, then they can see you easier and can see all the ornaments better. If they click on speaker view.
Oh.
Yeah, then you can see it. Then it's really easy to see them. It looks great.
You're not listening? You're not hearing me?
I am.
No. Yeah,
You're
I see
fine.
you fine. You're fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
I'm not, I still can't, I'm not back, I can't get back there.
Well, some of you have a strange little thing where the microphone is. What is that? Barbara, what is that?
That's the microphone button. And I click it. If I click it, it unmutes it. And I was just saying that if you click to speaker view instead of gallery view, you can see just you on the screen, and you can see the ornaments you're holding up nicer. So
Okay.
I just was suggesting that.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
So as I said, this is the dove.
I
I've
still
also-
can't get speaker view. I'm sorry. I
Oh.
can't get it. Go ahead, never mind. I can't see it, but that's okay.
And I have used him with a little sprig of holly in his beak. Here is the snowman. And as you see, the hole, I am very shaky this morning, is on the inside, not on the outside, so that you can write. This is a really simple one. This one you can ornamentate any way you wish. I also have a 3D version, very simple 3D version, but I have all kinds of punches. And this one is a round punch. And this one is the snowflake. And you can see that it's three-dimensional. And that's all, folks. Questions?
That was very good. Thank you.
Any questions?
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
When you were doing the layering, you said put a third sticky on and the hat, and then so you put another set of the hat on the snowman?
No, there are only two stickies.
Okay,
You put the base, the biggest piece on,
right,
a sticky, the second layer.
is the snowman's head and the hat, right?
No, wait a minute. I thought we were talking about the tree.
Either one.
Okay, let's do the snowman. The full snowman goes on the card.
Right,
Then a sticky,
yep,
then the top half of the snowman,
yep,
then a sticky on his hat,
yep.
and then the hat.
Then a hat that goes on top, okay. we
So
live
there are
in that
only
step.
two stickies
Yep.
on the snowman and the tree.
Okay, perfect.
And as I said, you can color them any way you want. And you can, I think, Kristen, do they get the patterns from you?
We'll have a link available after this with the pattern.
Okay. Any more questions? Wow. How many of you are going to actually do this?
Okay.
I might try one.
Yeah, I want to do the Christmas tree.
It's not hard
They're
at
so
all.
cute.
Yeah, they
You
are
just-
cute.
Okay. Enjoy. Merry
Well,
Christmas.
thank you. Thank you. Now we're ready. If Roseanne is ready, we're ready for our second presentation.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, no sound.
Unmuted.
There we are.
You got it?
Yep.
Everybody could hear. Oh, great. Good morning.
Morning.
Sandra, that was great and very thorough. You had a whole list there. Mine is really, really simple to do. The list of things you need is only 3. You need thread, which is simply Aunt Lydia's, I sound like a commercial, Aunt Lydia's crochet cotton, size 8. And the higher the number, the thinner the thread. So when I'm doing wool jewelry, I'll go up to like 12 because I want a finer thread. But for this, I want something sturdy. And I use pretty much white or black. It comes in every color known to man. So you need your thread. And then I use these long needles, which I order by the hundreds because I do the classes. But Joann's Fabric has them in a little package. And they come with a 3-inch and a 5-inch. And they're doll sculpting needles is what they call them. And they're these steel needles, quite long. And actually, once you get to working with them, I even have my dresses with them because my hands are, you get a little arthritic. So they're really great. So I've got my thread, I've got my needles, and then you just need your fabric. Now the fabric, when I started, for those of you that don't know, when I started at Old Sturbridge Village, I was demonstrating a lot of standing wool rugs. And this outer edge, there's all different ways of manipulating wool on your needle with the thread by drawing the thread in different fashions. So you get different techniques. You could do beaded wool, and the edge here is sheared or faux shearing. So I got to thinking about it. I'd love to adapt everything from the 1890s on up and bring it to present day. So the first thing I did was this Pendleton wool garland.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I'd love to see this, but I can't get speaker view and I see other people can't either.
I
Where
can't
was
either.
it?
I can't get speaker view.
Yeah,
I
nobody
can't
seems.
either.
No.
No, I can't either.
I can.
No.
It's too small.
Is that something for
perfect.
Kristen to put us all on, like she did for Sandra?
Well, we have an overview camera. Kristen, how do we turn that one on?
It's
May I,
It's spotlighted, but you need to make sure your screen is set to speaker view.
How do you get there?
Yeah, I don't have that option anymore.
I don't think
either.
I do either.
if you,
I've
if you
tried
click your
everything.
screen where it says gallery view, click it to gallery view. And then up at the top, there should be speaker view and exit or full screen. So you should be in a full screen view. And then gallery view gets all the little faces up. And then when
Yeah, I
at the
got
top,
that.
it'll say speaker view. You should be able to click speaker view and everybody's face would come down on the side and Roseanne would be the center.
Okay,
I
but
can't
before
do
you-
it.
Before you do that, you might
I
not
have
see it.
gallery view, but it doesn't
You-
switch to,
You-
it doesn't switch. to-
Mine just goes to Michelle for some reason.
Yeah, mine does as well.
You're in gallery view. So there will be a box. There's like 9 little boxes. And if you click
Yeah.
up, and they give you the option to change to gallery or speaker view.
I have
just
gallery
doesn't
view, but
work.
I don't have the option for speaker view.
I
Yeah,
have
I
the
don't
option, but it
either.
doesn't work. It's only
Switch
showing
to
Michelle.
gallery view and then I get everybody up, or Michelle, one or the other.
Me too.
Same as me.
But
If I
didn't
hit,
you all see me in speaker view?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can see you in your presentation.
So what happened in between?
Oh,
who
no.
knows?
Well, if I could make this suggestion, maybe you don't see the drop-down list. There's a word view in the top right-hand corner. Click on the word view first, then the list will come down.
I have more, not,
I don't have a view
Yeah,
either.
I
Yeah.
have more as well. I don't have view.
Okay, click on more then.
I have, there's nothing there for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
okay.
isn't.
Because if you
Yeah.
click on the word view, it says speaker view, gallery view, and full screen. And I think maybe full screen is what you want.
Gallery, you see everyone's photo.
But if you hit gallery view, then there's a speaker view that comes down from speaker view.
Right.
No,
Right, but
it
it doesn't
doesn't.
bring you to it. I get
It's
it.
not
because
working.
you can't- it won't work.
Right.
But you got me in speaker view.
Yep.
Yeah,
Won't
but
work with
Kristen
that.
put it on, we didn't.
I think you have to do it yourself.
It's
I didn't
not
do
on
anything.
here.
Kristen put the slideshow and it came right up on our screen.
Hmm.
If it worked before, maybe go out and come back in again, like a reset.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hey,
Ah, I got it now.
Do ya? How?
Yep.
What'd you do?
I don't.
I just took myself off of the video down in the corner and then I switched on to the gallery and the speaker view
goes.
came up and it worked.
I got it too.
I'm not getting it.
No, my iPad doesn't have it.
I
I
had an
had
iPad
it
and I didn't get it to
once.
work. Keep trying.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Sandra, do you have it on yours?
Now I've lost your voice.
Oh,
Who's doing the main control?
well, I'm not on mute.
Can't hear you.
No.
When I switch to gallery view, I get the whole meeting, everybody up.
That's what I
Roseanne,
get as well. I have everybody's picture, but I don't have the presentation.
But
Rosa-
when you hit on gallery view, doesn't something come down that says speaker view?
No, not on mine.
Really?
It did. I saw it once when I had issues previously, but it's like I can't, I don't see it at all. I don't see that option at all.
I left the meeting and then I came back in via the email and now I've got Roseanne.
Does everybody have it? And can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear
Okay,
you now.
Michelle.
I can hear you, but you're a little quiet, so maybe you need to get a little closer to your computer.
Okay, and does everybody have it now on the screen or?
I have you.
No,
I
I
got it.
don't. I don't.
I have a total full screen.
I
So-
have it.
Have you clicked on the button that says gallery? Has everybody clicked on gallery? Because it should automatically switch back and forth.
Where's that button?
It
Yes,
comes-
I have the gallery picture, and then I can switch back to active
Oh,
speaker.
okay.
But I don't have the presentation.
There is no presentation currently. It's just my mom you should see.
Yeah. And can everybody see the garland?
Yes, now I
Yeah.
can.
Is everybody all set now and you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yes.
A few technical difficulties, huh?
Yes,
All right.
different
So-
ones every meeting.
I know. There you have it.
Yep.
So what I was saying, the garlands are really simple to do. You can use wool, you can use cotton, you can use polar fleece, ribbon, anything that you have. But if you're using wool, you have to wash it in the washing machine on really hot cycle. And because you need to full it so you could tear it or cut it. And I use a cold water rinse and then I just throw it right in the dryer. And then wool, the way it's woven, if you make a little snip, you could just tear 1 inch or 2 inch pieces. It's very simple. You could cut it with a rotary cutter if you like, but wool is very simple to cut or to tear rather. So this is the first one that I made when I got the idea to do it. And this is an old Pendleton wool skirt. And it's hard to see, but I left the lining on it. So it's shiny in some parts. And so you'll see the bottom of that. And the thing is, when you're working with wool, there's different weights. So there's like a lightweight, like a skirt weight. So if you take your skirt apart, it would be a lot lighter and it would like ruche like this one or ruffle up. If you use a heavier weight, it would be like this one. And the heavier you go, the more resistance it has because the fabric is thicker. Whereas if you use a cotton, you really, really compact it quite a bit. And so that really one folds amongst the other in it. And then I just added the little wool beads, which is easy. So I'll show you how I did it. So I'm going to use a cotton strip so you could see it. I've got my needle. Oh, good. We're on this one.
Can you spin the camera above you?
Yeah. And so we've got the strip. I've got my needle. And your needles are long. But for the first one, oh yeah, Kristen's coming to spin it around. Oh God. There we go. Is that good? All right. So you just go, you don't worry about how far you're going. You'll just start loading your needle. And in the beginning, you'll just pull about 3 through. And then because you have a long needle, you could really start loading up your needle going in and out through the center. And that's called center shearing. And when you pull, you'll get this ruching effect. So already I'm starting to get a little ruffle. So what you do is you go along, you pull it tighter and create a resistance and just turn. And that's what gives that little ruffle for you. And you just keep going along with your fabric. Now, the nice thing about this is, or what you should be doing, and especially at a time like this, it's nice to recycle old clothing so that your garlands really become true heirlooms. So if you use your daughter's old jumper or shirt or your husband's old wool blazer, they really look, it makes it interesting. You could look at your tree and you'd say, oh yes, that's, whatever. So that's what we do quite a bit, is recycle. So now if you're going to add either a bead or a flower, and here's where I have a little flower. That's a technique that you use flat folded wool. So you'll cut a piece, a little square of wool, And I've got one here. So you'll take a square of wool. You might want to put something in the center of it too. You fold it point to point and point to point again, and it makes a little flower. You hit it with your needle and attach it, and you keep on going. You start shearing again. So you could add these lovely little flowers if you like, or you could do a wool bead. And if you're doing a wool bead, I don't know if anybody's ever done paper quilling. You get it started and you simply roll. And the thing about the wool beads is you need something that has a little bit more heft to it to do it. Or otherwise you're twisting.
So you can use a polar fleece too.
Yep, you could, or a heavier wool. Like I use a lot of coat weight wool. I've taken apart coats. But if you roll 2 colors, it comes out very nice if you want to do that. And you can get something that looks like a little candy cane. So you could do that. Or if you use, this was a wool coat of some sort, like a herringbone. And the thing is, this I had to cut because this wouldn't tear. There must be some nylon in there. But because you're going to be standing wool on end, you're going to roll this. And then you're going to stand it up. It almost looks like stone. You get these little dots in your bead. So you get something very interesting, and it looks like ticking. So this makes an interesting bead as well. So that's how you do the center shearing. Now to thread these, because my vision is so bad, I use a tapestry threader. I don't know if you've ever used one of these, but there's a small end and then a larger end for your tapestry needle. And that's how I cheat, so I could thread these tiny slots on the top. So the next one I did, when I started doing all the garlands, is the white one. And what happened here was I was helping out at the Crane Estate. And every Christmas, I don't know if you've ever been up there, they do a big thing for Christmas. And they said, oh, it would be really nice if you would do a wool garland on a tree. That's all they said. Well, I said, okay, fine. And could you do some wool ornaments? The tree became an 8-foot tree. And there were 2 of them flanking each side of the Grand Allée. Now, I had to involve a friend of mine who was an architect because we had to get the height and the circumference. And then we had to figure out what the swag was and the swoop, so to speak, so we could calculate how many yards of this I needed. So I drug Heidi into this, my friend Mary, my past students, and it looked like Santa's workshop in my dining room. And I cut yards and yards and yards of this white wool. And every so often we added a flower or a bead. And the trees came out, and I even set, if I could turn this around, a little a faux pearl inside this one. Or you could put a button, you could embellish it, you could throw a leaf on it. So they become very interesting. We did all the garland, and then we did wool doves, stars, sheep, all sorts of wool ornaments. And everybody loved the tree. Everybody loved it. It was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of work though.
And those
but you could,
formed
I'm
with
sorry.
A circle, right?
Yep, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Those flowers are formed with a round circle versus a square.
Right. So what you do, no, you can cut a round circle or you can just cut off the corners. And the technical term is when you fold your piece, this is what's called patch shearing. And they used to make rugs like this. You go point to point, point to point. That makes a nice leaf. But if you cut off your corners, you get a very round edge to it. And this is what it comes out to be. It doesn't have the points. And that's called button shearing. Now, if you can imagine, they sewed these little pieces attached to a canvas to make their design. It was a lot of work, very, very labor intensive, but beautiful, beautiful rugs. So that's the one that looks like popcorn and cranberries. And I've got just 2 more. This one is a lot of fun, especially for children. You have a lot of leftover pieces. When I'm rug hooking or whatever I'm working on, this is how the wool gets cut in these strips. So I'll use them up, but I always have ends. And so a little bit later, I found a rug. It's called a postage stamp. And I just cut my ends into about little 1-inch squares. And it's not that complicated because I fold the piece back and forth like an accordion. And then I just snip those corners. And I have a whole box of ends. And then you just, like stringing popcorn and cranberries, take your ends on your needle and start stringing them and adding beads. And this one really becomes fun when you're using old clothing. And this was adapted from the rug that's called the postage stamp. And this is a small mat. And these how they look. And you just, can everybody see it okay? You take your little pieces and you string it out. You can see it on this one. And you string your pieces and then you start shaping it any way you want. And these make really nice table mats to put on your table, to put your teapot or like a trivet. But this is what they used was wool because wool doesn't burn. And so these are really, the ladies really, really love making these in my classes. And the last one that I have, and there's many, many other ways that I do it, but since we lost a lot of time with our technical difficulties, this is one that I'm working on now. And this one, you could sew buttons. This one I decided to do just wool circles. Bigger, smaller, different colors, different textures, 2 together. And then every now and then I would add a button or a wool shirred flower. And what they used to do in the olden times, this looks really good on a tree, but they used to swag under your fireplace mantle. And these look nice with your greenery in it or in a window with greenery. And I'm trying to develop these further because I love making the garlands. And this is how the ladies learn how to do sharing, is with the wool beads and so on. So I'm thinking of doing one for like a nursery room. And you could do different color beads and then maybe hang little tiny elephants and giraffes from it and whatever. It would really be cute, swagged in a window. So I think it could take you with your imagination any way you wanted to go. But the fun part of it is recycling your fabric of which is your clothing. And then that way it really is truly an heirloom piece. And that's it. I could tell you a lot of funny stories, but anyway, not today, another time. In the workshops, we laugh a lot. My boss always says, every time he walks by, what are you ladies laughing about? We just laugh the whole time because, you know, we tell different funny stories about, you know, this dress or that dress or clothing. And the first class I taught at Sturbridge, the assignment was you were to bring an old piece of clothing, which we were going to cut up. And a lot of ladies from New York City attend these classes, and they arrived with these gorgeous Pendleton wool skirts that were either had moth holes in them or they didn't fit them anymore. And he just sat there laughing. He couldn't believe it. They just took a pair of shears and cut up those clothes like next to nothing. And he said, I never thought I was going to see these ladies cut up their clothes the way they did. But they did, and we had a really good time with it. So, and that's it. Any questions? No, I hope you're going to make some if you, oh, thank you, Sandra.
You can make a wreath out of those too.
Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
Absolutely. If you just took it and went around, I do make wreaths with them.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, they were bigger. She made bigger. What's
Absolutely.
your question? My question. Gloria has a question.
Sure.
How wide do you cut your strips when you're making them? When you're cutting
This
them up?
one, the white one is only a 1/2 inch.
Oh, 1/2 inch. Oh, for
A
popcorn.
1/2 inch. Whereas this one, the Pendleton, is 2 inches. So each fabric behaves differently. So what you want to do is try a little piece with your needle and thread and see how it goes together. One of the classes I taught at a college, Leslie, when we were in Pennsylvania, when we were at Chautauqua, we went over, and the ladies misunderstood the assignment. When I said felted wool, they thought I meant felted sweaters. And when you put sweaters in a washing machine, they really shrink and felt up. And when you cut them, they're gorgeous when you make them into a garland, because they're so thick, they barely go together. And so it's like this really loose, ruffly, and you'll get the cables in it and whatnot. And it was a mistake, but it came out beautifully. So you can try anything.
Yep. I somehow thought they might be just 1/4 inch. They look so tiny.
Well, I do have one. This is the smallest that I have. And that one is a little bit less than a 1/2 inch. And you probably can't see it from here, but each one of these little pieces, I cut about 4 inches long and a half, not quite a 1/2 inch. And I folded each one like a little package. And then I just attached one little one next to the other. And this came out very sturdy. And it was about a bunch of leftover wool that I had from another project. So you just experiment. And whereas this one's, I think, 2.5 inches.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Are you able to use different thicknesses on one garland?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've got one I didn't want to show to confuse things because I must make like a dozen different kinds, and it is made with sweater bits, and so it goes from thicker to thinner to foofy to, and I threw buttons and beads and all sorts of things. So yeah, when you're doing this one, you could add, instead of your wool beads, you could of course add beads or jingle bells or whatever. I mean, there's so many things you can do with the leftover wool. It's just endless. I have baskets and baskets and baskets of it. And that's how I end up showing up at a workshop. My boss, he just laughs. And the ladies dip in, and we have wool everywhere, different thicknesses, different whatever. And they get very creative, very, very creative. So I hope you can too. And you come up with some ideas and you have a garland on your tree.
Thank you, Roseanne.
You're welcome.
Roseanne, can you?
Hey, thanks, Roseanne.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Y'all making needles. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, both Sandra and Roseanne. Thank you both.
Thank
very
you,
much.
Sandra, too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Keep safe.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, stay safe. Have a good time.
All right.
Take care. Oh, no, we're doing the,
Don't leave. Don't leave yet. She's gonna do the drawing, people.
Oh,
Yeah.
Next on our agenda is the drawing for the 3 baskets. And we sold a total of 163 tickets for today's 3 baskets in total. It's just wonderful. Thank you everyone for such enthusiastic support of our raffles, and hope you're enjoying the raffles. Also, I would just want to mention to those of you who included little notes with your checks, I've really loved hearing from you. It's nice to know that you're well and that you're enjoying the show every month. And it's just been good to hear from people where we've been so isolated. So just so you know that I appreciate those notes.
Thank you for doing it.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Michelle.
This is our first basket, which is the quilting basket. And these have all been shaken and stirred like a martini. And I've got one out. And here we go. Oh, it's Catherine Flowers.
Yay!
Yay. That's nice.
Roseanne, can you turn off the camera? Roseanne's camera is on.
The demo camera.
Basket number 2, which is our knitting and crochet basket. And here's one. Linda Mendonca.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Congratulations.
I do need yarn.
Yeah.
I just finished putting 3 bags there to see who am I going to give it to.
All right, and now our holiday basket.
Ooh.
Got one. Anne Farley.
Nice.
Yeah, congratulations to our winners. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed today's presentation. Save the date for January, as our next meeting is January 6th. It was going to be Catherine Flowers showing us how to make a new name tag, but that may change since Catherine is now ill. Remember to check out our daily projects on Facebook. Everybody have a very happy holiday and stay safe and stay well. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Stay safe.
Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas and whatever you celebrate. Have a happy one.
Yes, whatever you celebrate. Thank you. Stay safe, everybody.
Yes.
Thank
Bye.
you, Sandra and Roseanne.